UFC was squeezed off pay-per-view. To the promoters, the whole controversy was hypocritical.
I think the UFC is much safer than boxing. If you compare an Ultimate Fighter who goes in and the fight gets broken up as soon as he cannot intelligently defend himself, which may be after as little as 2 or 3 blows. The flip side is boxing, where a fighter receives repeated punishment for up to 10 or 12 rounds. You're talking about hundreds of blows to the head and the body. There's a big difference there.
Practically down and out, Ultimate Fighting is now slowly climbing from the ruins. It's doing that by trying to become a legitimate sport, adding rules like time limits, weight classes, and light gloves.
All of the changes that have progressed so far have been good for the sport. It gives us structure, it gives us a beginning. We've evolved.
Today, Ultimate Fighting is still blocked from cable television, but the sport survives on home video and direct satellite TV. And now, the big 3 fight states, California, Nevada, and New Jersey, are taking steps to regulate what was once a renegade spectacle. The Ultimate Fighting world is quietly optimistic.
In this world of ours, Las Vegas, Atlantic City, that's the bar of credibility in the fight game. So we feel that when we start doing shows in those places, we will be respected for the sport that we are.
He is a world-renowned kickboxer.
But the reality here in New Orleans is a little stark. For this championship event, roughly 1,000 tickets have been sold in an arena that fits almost 8,000. It is clear that Ultimate Fighting has a way to go.
My prediction is in 2 years we'll have all of our cable back. So it'll be accessible to everyone. Within 5 years, it'll be the hottest sport, bar none.
For now, Ultimate Fighting is finding new blood at the amateur level. Next, the fighters who risk their necks for little more than glory. Since its start in the mid-1990s, the Ultimate Fighting Championship has put on about 200 matches. But in communities across the nation, amateur versions of this brutal form of entertainment take place all the time. As you watch, ask yourself this question: would any of this exist if there weren't so many of us willing to take a beating and so many more willing to watch? It's Saturday night at South Plainfield High School in New Jersey, but it could be any neighborhood in America. Amateur Ultimate Fighters battle only for glory. Local guys with normal day jobs become warriors.
You know, it's like you're being thrown to the lions. Well, you learn from that, and maybe you have a couple of bruises, maybe you're cut up a little bit.
For these amateurs, there's no payday, no fame, just the love of combat. They follow the same rules as their professional counterparts. But these matches are not regulated by any state agency, and the competition is much more raw.
Love it, baby. Love it, baby. Come on.
27-year-old Eddie Roland holds the regional heavyweight title.
I don't fear injury. Worst gets happened, I get knocked out. I get submitted. So what? I live to fight another day, and I continue doing what I love.
I wish he could be like other husbands and just do their jobs and go home, but I see how much he enjoys it and keeps in shape, lost a lot of weight doing it, so it winds up being better for all of us.
Roland says the sport has given him confidence and a better grip on life.
It alleviates stress. It makes me a better father, a better husband, because I can do that, get it all out of my system, whatever's bothering me at work.
During the day, Eddie works for the local cable company, checking wires and climbing poles. At nights, he runs training sessions for hungry fighters who want to learn.
Like a diamond going out straight. This makes me uncomfortable. My head's up in the air, makes it hard for me to breathe.
My sport is safe. It's safer than boxing. It's safer than high school football. It's a lot of fun. It has honor in it. I don't meet too many guys that do well at this that don't have some kind of honor.
On this night, more than 30 grapplers, kickboxers, and martial arts enthusiasts show up.
192.
They engage in friendly banter, weigh in, and prepare to go head-to-head with their training partners and friends who make up this tight-knit fraternity.
Hi, ringside or general?
The fans pay $25 for the chance to see some good competition and maybe a little blood.
It gives us an outing, like, you know, family type thing. It's better than being on the streets. You know what I mean? Hanging around doing nothing.
Get your legs under there.
The combatants give the fans their money's worth. One hopeful is choked into unconsciousness. His air supply is cut off, and he passes out.
I got him. Sit up. Sit up. Watch it, watch it. Move back. Move back. Move back. Good job. Stand up.
He's okay for now, though he's not quite sure what happened.
Right? Let's go.
Another fight pits 34-year-old fitness trainer Mark Dapolito, seen here in the black trunks, against an unknown from Kentucky. It's a no-holds-barred fight. No eye gouging, headbutting on the ground, or groin punches, but basically anything goes.
Mark, choke. Stop, stop. That's it. That's it. That's it.
His opponent is clearly incapable of defending himself. Mark says he didn't want to hurt him. He just wanted to win.
You just have to do what you have to do is to do the job, to do it right. You know, it's a sport like soccer. You know, if you don't score a goal, you don't win. You know, you have to do what you have to do to win the sport.
In the main event, Eddie Rollon faces a championship challenge from Thomas Larison, also known as Psycho Eyes. Larison has at least 40 pounds on Eddie and seems unbeatable. Things don't go well at first. Larison actually chokes Eddie with his own arm, cutting off his blood and air supply. But Eddie's patient. In a dramatic move, he takes advantage when Larison crosses his legs. Eddie applies pressure to his foot. If Larison doesn't tap out, his foot will break.
Well, my plan wasn't to have him dominate me the entire fight, but he did a good job. He had better strikes than I had, faster than I was. He's definitely stronger than I was. It was a technique that killed him. He crossed his legs to get better leverage for a choke. If you cross the legs on the inside, you can wrap your legs above, push your pelvis forward, and work the ankles against each other.
It was a little scary, but I didn't think he was going to get him in the end.
I was watching your first fight, and I had all kinds of a game plan, and it didn't work at all. You rung my bell twice.
Eddie Rollon has retained his title and his devotion to the sport.
If I got really hurt in there, I'd be doing something I love. It's, you know, the human condition to do competition, to test your limits, and if you can do it intelligently and live through it, that's terrific. If you can do it with a little injury and some honor and do it the next day, even better.
When we come back,
probably our most famous match that our wrestlers do is a barbed wire match. We take the ropes down from the wrestling ring and we string it up with barbed wire. The whole idea of it is the wrestler does not want to get caught in the barbed wire.
Once again, Lester Holt.
on any given night of the year, there could be a professional ultimate fighting match in an arena near you. The amateurs could be slugging it out at your local high school. Students could be brawling in a backyard fight club. And at the bingo hall in town could be yet another brand of in-your-face fighting, where the outcome might be fake, but the blood is very real. In small, unassuming places all across the country, extreme wrestling leagues called independents draw crowds thirsting not for the polished performances of the pros, but a brand of violence critics say is more insidious and primal. Like the WWF and WCW, the outcome of these matches is predetermined. But extreme wrestling is a true blood sport, where the violence is very real.
Probably our most famous match that our wrestlers do is a barbed wire match. We take the ropes down from the wrestling ring and we string it up with barbed wire. The whole idea of it is the wrestler does not want to get caught in the barbed wire. They love this. It just makes the place explode when they see a wrestler bleed.
It's not sports, it's not entertainment, it's some kind of bastardized thing in the middle. It's like a glimpse of hell.
Frank Ivadavia is a wrestler, promoter, and founder of Jersey All Pro Wrestling. Originally, he put on more traditional bouts until
one day I was outside the ring and I whacked someone with a chair and the roof blew off the place. And the house just grew from maybe 80 people to about 300 people in just a couple of months.
Here at this bingo hall in Bayonne, Jersey All Pro promoted weapons matches, where fans brought in everyday items for the wrestlers to use in the ring. For the fighters, there's no real money to be made, no fame beyond the few hundred spectators. Just the sheer thrill of violence and putting on a good show.
From Sunset Park, Brooklyn, lowlife, Louis Ramos!
I played that moment in my head for so many years. I planned the moment that my name would be called, my music would play, and all the people would react favorably to me.
22-year-old Louis Ramos grew up in a tough neighborhood in New York. Wrestling has been in his blood ever since he can remember.
It was almost like an escape for me. Like, I could pretend to be a character as a wrestler, or I can just watch it.
Now Ramos is a crowd favorite, mostly because he is so willing to take a beating, and he does it for at most $100 a night.
The blood is 100% legitimate. I've been cut with the barbed wire. Those have bled. I've been stapled. I could take this stapler gun. This is a basic stapler and stick staples in my arm. When you walk in the ring, you know basically who's gonna come out victorious. But the beating is legitimate, and we are getting hurt. There is no bones about it.
For a year, Jersey All Pro operated under a permit from the town of Bayonne. But when Mayor Joe Doria heard from residents concerned about extreme wrestling, he took a long, hard look.
My reaction was that it was barbaric. It was basically an attempt to create a sensational form of entertainment where people would be cut up.
It's not something I'd want happen to me, so it's tight seeing other people bleed.
I like the yelling and mixing it up with them.
As brutal as extreme wrestling may be, much of the crowd is made up of parents and children.
You like the guys, what, beating each other up? Yes, we like.
It's like a great experience. They'll never forget this.
Jersey All Pro Wrestling, as far as family entertainment, I'd like older fans at our shows, but there's young people there too. As far as the critics go, let them come to a show before they knock it.
I think the biggest danger is it sells attitude, and it tells kids that you deal with things either violently or the threat of violence or it's confrontation, it's in your face. I think it's anti-women. I think it's anti-humanity at some level.